work together in building a major scale. Remember, a major scale is like an octave, so it should have 8 notes, the first note and the last note being the same letter. Looking here, we have a piano. Now, this is the best way to visualize and see how the scale is built, is with a piano. Remember, a major scale has specific steps that needs to happen to build it. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, or we went home when we went home. If I were to build a scale on C, I would need to, let me change this here quickly. I would need to start it with a C. That's like, and I need to end it with a C. First movement from that C is a whole step. Remember, with a whole step, there's always a smaller note right in between it. So that'll bring us to a D. Another whole step, small note in between, which is our black key. That'll give us E. Here we go. And we have a half step. That means there's no note in between it at all. That would just automatically bring us to F, because there's no black note in between it. It's just white note next to white note. So our next letter is F. Then we have another whole step. Skip the little letter in the middle, the little note in the middle. We land on G. Another whole step. We land on A. Another whole step. We land on B. And if we did it correctly, our last half step should bring us to C, because we started with C, so we need to end on C. Remember, half step has no notes in between it, and it brings us right to C. Perfect, so we did it correctly. We are now at C, so we have built a C major scale using those letters. What would happen if I built it starting with a different letter? So let's go ahead and build it with a D. Let's see what happens there. Okay. So we will obviously start with this D right here. And I'm going to go ahead and put in the D, because we have to start with it. And I know we need to end with a D, so I'll wait for that. My first step is a whole step. So I have to skip the little note in the middle. I land on E. My next one is a whole step again. Skip the note in the middle. I land on this black note right there. Now, alphabetically, what my next letter should be is F. So I'll put an F right there. But it's not just a regular F, it's a special type of F. Looking at the side over here, I have two different symbols. I have a flat symbol and a sharp symbol. A flat symbol is when the note gets pushed down just a little bit down a step, and my sharp symbol is when the note gets pushed up just a little bit a step. So if this is my original F and we had to push it up the piano a little bit to get to this black note, I would be on a F sharp. Just like that. Okay. My next note is a half step. So I just have to move up one small key to G. I have another whole step, bringing me to A. I have another whole step, bringing me to B. And then I have another whole step, which brings me to this mystery note right there. Do you know what it is? Can you kind of take a guess? What letter are we missing, or what letter should be next? So our next letter should be C, but it's not a regular C because it's landed on a black note. Did we push the C up, or did we push it down? We pushed it up just a little bit, so that should give us a sharp sign. That lets us know that it's not a regular C, it's a C sharp. And then if we did it correctly, our half step should bring us back to D. And it does. So that is our D major scale. Now some of you guys might be wondering, Mr. Zhang, I understand that that's a C sharp, but couldn't it also be a D flat? Because if we're looking at it, the D can be pushed down a little bit and be a D flat. And the answer is, you're correct. It could be a D flat, but because we already have a D in our alphabet here, we have to use the letter that we don't have in there, which was the C. So it has to be C sharp, not D flat.